Yeah, started
No
recording it.
problem. Thank you.
Started recording it. Yeah. Yeah. So this is typically, your project timeline. The first step is called as starting up of the project. So in starting up of the project, you'll be having certain activities which will tell how the project is going to get started. Okay. And after that, you have got another process called as initiating process. Okay. So what is initiating process? So this is the point from which your actual project starts, right? So the first process you have got is called as starting up. The second process which you have got after starting up is called as initiating process. Okay, initiating the project. I'm just marking it as a short form, initiating the project. And after initiating the project, you'll be having certain kind of milestones, right? So these milestones are called as stages. So I'm just giving some kind of name to the stages. Maybe I'll just mark it as S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6. Maybe I can consider this one as S0 maybe. Yeah. So these are, stages which I am having in the project, and finally S6 is considered to be the last stage of that particular project, and this is called as closing up of project. Okay. So these are the stages, and the final one is called as closing up of project. And what need to be done is from initiation till closure, someone need to guide us. I mean, someone need to guide this particular project, right? So project manager will be managing the project, and the team which will be guiding this particular project is called as project board. So, and this entire process of guiding is called as directing the project. Okay. So I'll just give a recap. So the first and the foremost thing is called as starting up of project. So starting up of the project is the point where the project will actually start. And after that, project will start. That means, people will be appointed, people will be, they will, initially executive will be there, then after that project manager will be there. So it is more or less like getting ready to start the project. That is called as starting up. And the actual project basically starts from initiation. So initiation talks about various steps which are involved and how the project will get initiated, and typically how kickoff will happen and everything. And after that, there will be certain stages. So stages are typically control points which you have from S1 to S6. So these are the stages where, each and every stage will be managed by the project manager until closing up of the project. So the last stage which you see in this diagram is called as closing up of project. So all these stages need to be monitored closely, right? So someone need to give some kind of guidance. Okay, so that guidance will be basically given by project board, and that particular process is called as directing the project. Okay, so each and every stage, this particular point is called as stage boundary, right? This is called a stage boundary. So this point is called a stage boundary because a particular stage will get completed and a new stage is going to get started. Similarly, this one is called also boundary, right? So every stage will be having a boundary. So boundary is a logical point where, right, you will be completing a particular stage and you will be moving to the another stage, except the last stage, because you will be completing the project but you will not be going to any particular stage. So every stage will be having something called a stage boundary, and the process which is associated in managing this particular stage boundary is called as managing stage boundaries. Okay, managing stage boundaries. Okay, so, and at the end, I mean, whenever a stage is getting completed, so what need to be delivered? Some product need to be delivered. Okay, so at the stage boundary, a product also need to be delivered. So this is called as managing product delivery. Managing product delivery. I'm just writing it. Okay, managing product delivery. Okay, so these are the stages where a product delivery will also happen. And another thing is, each and every stage which you are seeing here, this particular thing, every stage, because stage could be 15 days, stage could be 1 month, or stage could be 1 week also, right? So each and every particular stage need to be controlled, right? So every stage need to be controlled. What is meant by controlling? If there is any kind of making sure that everything is within tolerance limit. If any of the parameters is not within the tolerance limit, then that need to be identified and corrective actions need to be taken. Okay, so this is what is your project timeline, which includes a lot of processes. So I will take a different color and I'll try to mark it down. So the first, sorry, okay, the first one is called as, the first process is called as starting up of project, and second process is called as initiating the project. Third one is called as directing the project. Fourth one is called as closing the project. Fifth one is called as managing stage monitoring. Sixth one is called as managing product delivery. Seventh one is called as controlling stage. Okay, so these are 7 processes which are present in Prince2, and this is how your project timeline is organized. So all the process will be, all 7 processes basically project manager will be managing, except managing product delivery. So 6 projects are managed by PM, and 1 process is taken care by team manager. So managing product delivery is what you are seeing. This particular thing will be taken by team manager. Okay, so these are 7 processes, and this is how these 7 processes are organized in Prince2. So if you want to take a snapshot of it, please take a snapshot of it. This is what we have seen earlier, right? So maybe you might be a little confused how, we have kept something at the bottom, there are some things at the side, there are some things which are forming the basement and all. So, but this is how your entire Prince2 project is managed, and these are the processes which are present in Prince2. Mangesh?
Yeah, Praveen, we have 7 process and other risk will be covered in initiate startup only. We are doing in
Yeah. So
process.
yeah. Risk will be covered during risk will be no, I mean initially addressed during business case only. So every place you will be finding some risk that will be documented in some or the other uh, document. But if you see, risk will get started. I mean uh, risk concept will get started here during starting up a project. It doesn't mean it is going to end there. So during initiation phase also you'll be seeing risk. When you are managing each and every stage also you'll be seeing risk. There is a document called as highlight report, which I have told you, right? In highlight report there is a section called as risk, so that need to be filled. Okay, so risk is not a one, risk identification or risk addressal is not a one-time activity, it is a continual activity. It will start when your project is going to get started, it is going to end when your project is going to get completed.
But entire project we calculate the risk before starting the project
Yes. Even in
as
your
a
business case
planning
also
plan.
there will be risk, right? So when we are creating a business case, when executive is creating a business case, there will be some risks which are associated. So that will be documented in business case. If the risks are too many, then project will not get started at all. So in business case also risk will be documented. Okay, it's a continual activity, and after that it will be taken care by project manager. Okay, so that's how all these 7 processes are organized. So what I'll do is each and every process, so each and every process will be having 4 boxes. Okay, right? What is the purpose, what is objective, Okay, and what are activities and what is a context? So every process, I mean, whether it is starting up or initiating or managing boundaries or closing or directing the project, will be having purpose, will be having objectives, will be having activities, will be having context. So what we'll be doing is we'll be focusing on one item, which is activities. That means what will be done in that particular process is what we are interested in, right? So in starting up, what will happen? In initiating the process, what will happen, right? When directing the project, what will happen? If project need to be controlled, what are the things, what are the activities which need to be considered? So totally, if you ask me how many activities are there, then I'll say there are 40 activities which are present in Prince2, right? If you see PMP, there are 47 activities. I mean, it is 47 activities or 47 processes we have got in Prince PMP. 47 in PMP and 40 in Prince2.
Hi Praveen.
Yeah, yeah.
Praveen, you have started foundation is finished. You have started practitioner, or you are
No,
doing
no,
a recap of foundation.
this entire thing is for foundation and practitioner.
Okay, okay. No, just I thought that you have started practitioner.
No, no, this is for foundation. This is required for practitioner also. But
Okay,
I'll tell you the difference here. So
okay,
yeah, we are having same book, man. For whether it is foundation, whether it is practitioner, we are having only one book, which is called as Managing Successful Projects using Prince2. In foundation, you'll be getting basic questions, right? In practitioner questions, you'll be getting little advanced questions. Advanced questions doesn't mean that the toughness will increase. The only thing is it will be more like a person who is really managing the projects according to Prince2 and all. So they will see whether your real-time knowledge is good or not. Okay, so complexity wise, if you see foundation will totally have straightforward questions. You have a question and you'll be having four answers, you have to take one. Here you'll be having a scenario, you have to answer those questions according to that. So practitioner will be little tough because it just talks about scenarios. If you are able to understand scenario and implement Prince2 concepts and all, it will be okay. So but overall the syllabus is same, you have the same book. Okay, so there is nothing called as foundation and practitioner. It is same, book is same, syllabus is same. The complexity and the way in which they ask the questions is little different. Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you. Similarly, in PMP also we have got two things. I mean, PMP is a certification. We have a book called as PM book. So same book is referred for two certifications. One is called as CAPM and another one is called as PMP, right? So CAPM stands for Certified Associate Project Manager. PMP stands for Project Management Professional. So same book is used for two certification. Similarly, Managing Successful Projects using Prince2 is used for two examinations. One is Foundation and one is for Practitioner. What is the difference? This one will be simple, this one will be little complex. Here also CAPM will be simple, PMP will be little complex. Complexity in the terms of questions, and they will typically target on your practical experience, not just concepts. Okay. Did I answer your question, Mangesh, Alina?
yeah, Praveen, I got your
Yeah,
idea.
it's not like we have different textbooks. Normally, if you are studying some engineering or if you're studying your school, you'll have different books and you'll have different examinations, right? Here we have got same book for a different examination. That's what is the difference. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go through this starting up of project. Okay, so there are three diagrams which you need to know here. One second, it's in tablet mode. Okay, so there are three things which you need to know when we are discussing about process, because you will be seeing these three boxes, right? So right, so one is called as whatever yellow box which you are seeing here is called as process or activity. So we'll overall what we'll be doing is we'll be seeing approximately 40 charts, 40 flow diagrams in another 1 or 1.5 hour of time. So these 40 flow diagrams are something like, in those 40 flow diagrams, you'll be seeing something in yellow color. You'll be seeing something in blue color, sky blue color, with a little, you don't have a little, oval shape or, circular shape at the bottom, right? So, and you will be seeing some oval shape diagram also. So whatever you're seeing in yellow color is called as process or activity. Whatever you're seeing in blue color, with a curved shape at the bottom, is called as management product. And whatever you are seeing in oval color is typically an event or action. Okay, so these are the three kind of notations which you will be seeing going forward in 40 diagrams, 40 flow diagrams. So we can say that, we have completed processes well if we are able to cover all these 40 diagrams. Okay, you need not remember this, but try to understand what is important, right? So I'll tell you. So in any process, maybe I'll save it. Yeah. So yeah. So what I'll do is, so any process will have inputs, activity, and output. Okay, so if I have to put it in a proper way, then a process will be having activity. In order to do that particular activity, there will be inputs, and when the activity gets completed, there will be output. Okay, so that's what is your process is all about. So whatever inputs which you will be seeing in this particular presentation, that is in another 40 diagrams, are typically your management products. All the inputs are management products, and almost all the outputs are typically your management products. Okay, so whatever you are seeing in all the diagrams from now will be typically management products. Okay, so inputs will be management products, or output will be management product. So I just wanted to recap this particular slide once again. So what is meant by process? Process is nothing but it is set of activities. Okay, so every activity will be having certain set of inputs, and when the activity gets completed, there will be set of outputs. And inputs which you are seeing in the process will be typically your management products, and the outputs which you are seeing here are typically your management products. Okay, so what are the management products? We know that there are 26 management products here and here. So typically inputs and outputs will be your management products. So if you are able to understand this particular concept which I have told you just now, your understanding of the activities and flow diagrams will be simple. And very important thing which I wanted to tell you here is, you just try to understand the concept. Okay, so you'll be little, there will be a lot of inputs and a lot of outputs. You need not remember this, and it will not come for your examination. You can make a note of it. So just try to understand the underlying concept which is there in each and every process, because that will help you in order to get more grip on Prince2. But this particular thing will not come for your examination. And please understand that whatever inputs and outputs which you are seeing here are it should give you some kind of guidelines or guidance in order to do it, but you need not follow it exactly what it is mentioned in these processes. Okay, you got it right, whatever I have told you. So the last part I'm going to tell again. So just try to understand, there are 7 processes, right? In 7 processes there will be 40 activities. So all these 40 activities, try to understand it. You need not remember this, because it will not come for your examination. This will only give you some kind of strength to how you need to execute the project in Prince2. So all the inputs and all the outputs which you are seeing here will be typically management products. Okay, so just try to get the essence of it. You need not you need not learn it. Okay, from examination perspective or from your interview perspective also, you need not remember any of these things. Okay, so let's go and yeah, Mangesh. Rakesh.
Do you questions what the generally management people ask for if you're Prince certified? So
They'll
that
be
also
asking,
you give it.
yeah, yeah. They'll be asking you some kind of generic questions. Because I have interviewed some of the project managers in my organization. So what is the thing which I'm going to do is I'm not going to tell them that, can you tell me what are seven principles, seven themes, and seven processes? That is something which I'll not definitely ask them, right? So what I'll do is I will tell them, suppose you want to execute that, you want to execute a particular project in Prince2 style. So what are the things which you will be doing, right? So, and do you think business case is important? And if you want to send some kind of communication to someone, so what is the report which you will be using? So such kind of questions is what I'm going to ask to the people from interview perspective. But I'm definitely not going to ask anything which is related to what are seven principles, seven themes, seven processes, what are 26 management processes, and all that is typically, it's typically not a question which will be asked by any in any interview. Rakesh, hi. Hello. Rakesh?
Hello, sir. Good morning. Can you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but this is Prince2 training program.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir. I'll be just keep mute, sir. I'll be there. I'll be attending this demo class, sir.
This is Surendra or what?
Hello.
Hello? That's fine.
Sir, this is Rakesh. Yeah.
Rakesh, have you registered for this?
For which for this which course is this, sir? I mean, this is for big data operator.
This one is Prince2.
Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry, I think I got into a wrong class because the ID which they have given. Okay, I'll just go back, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. Bye-bye.
Bye, bye, sir.
Okay, so let's get started with this. Whatever, I just want to recap this again. So whatever you're seeing in a yellow box is typically, a process or activity, and whatever you're seeing in blue color box, which is present on your screen, Rakesh is out, right? So yeah, this is what sometimes, this kind of thing happens sometimes because, there will be multiple training classes which will be happening, and people from some other course may be clicking on some other link and they'll be joining. So whenever we are planning this kind of training, what we have to do is we have to inform them. Otherwise, people of some other course will be joining this particular course because user ID and password will be typically same. We have to block the time. Okay, so that's fine. So whatever you're seeing in yellow box is activity, and whatever you're seeing in blue color box is typically management product, and the one thing which you're seeing in oval color is typically an event. So when we are discussing about process, what we'll be discussing about these things only. Yeah, Rakesh. Okay, so that's what it is. So what we'll do is in starting up of the project, so what are the activities which we'll be doing, or what are the activities which will be happening? We'll try to understand that and we'll go for it. So what I'll do is when we are discussing about any process, we'll discuss what are the activities which are present there, and we'll try to understand the inputs and outputs, and we'll move forward to the next process. Okay. So let us try to understand activities in starting up. Okay, so these are the things which we need to understand. What are the activities which will be done during starting up of the project? Okay, so first one, because when you are executing a project in Prince2, this is something, which you need to know in starting up a project, how the project actually starts, how it will come to project manager and all that is something which you need to understand, right? So in starting up of the project, so what are the activities? First and the foremost thing is when a project is going to get started, it will be there with corporate or program management, right? So program management typically will be having that particular project, and program management, what they will be doing is they'll be following some kind of steps so that the project will actually get started. So the first and the foremost thing is executive and PM need to be appointed, right? So just I mean, this is something which is, when a project has to be started, first and the foremost thing that need to be done is there should be one executive and one particular project manager who need to be appointed. Appointing doesn't mean that we are going to hire the people from outside. Appointing means it could be identifying also. That means if a project manager has completed another one project and he's free, then we'll identify that this project manager can be used for this particular project. Similarly, if an executive is free, then we'll identify that particular executive who can take up this particular project, and executive will be identified. So who will be identifying executive and project manager? So program management or corporate will be identifying executive and project manager. So executive is something which they will be identifying for sure, but sometimes executive will be identifying project manager, and sometimes program management or corporate will be identifying project manager. So this is considered to be first step. Okay, so now when executive and project manager are identified, the first and the foremost thing which an executive does is he will be working on business case, right? So the business case which he'll be working at this point of time is called as outline business case. Yeah. So whenever an executive is appointed, first and the foremost thing which he'll be doing is he'll be uh, you know preparing a business case. The business case at this point of time, he'll not be having full information, so the business case which he is working at this point of time is called as outline business case. Okay, then first and the foremost thing what project manager will be doing is he'll be, right, he doesn't know anything about the project, right? So in order to understand the project and all, first he knows that suppose the project manager could have worked in finance domain, now he's getting into something like healthcare domain, right? So he doesn't have much of idea on healthcare domain. So what he has to do is he has to browse some of the lessons records of healthcare projects. So first thing what he'll be doing is he'll be capturing previous lessons. Right? If it is a very big organization, then there could be thousands and thousands of lessons which are present in the form of documents. So he need not refer all thousands and thousands of lessons. So what he can do, he can filter that particular repository with the help saying that it is healthcare project. In healthcare project also he'll be getting 10 or 20 projects. In those 10 or 20 projects he may apply further more filters and he can open some 5 to 6 lessons, right? Lessons report, and he will be writing what are the things which other project managers has learned, what are the good things which other project managers have done, and what are the bad things which other project managers have done. He will try to document and correlate with regards to his particular project. So first activity which will be done by project manager is he'll be capturing all the previous lessons. And after understanding the lessons, what he'll be doing is he'll be appointing project team. Appointing project team. So what is meant by appointing project team? A project team may be having, some people like developers, team manager, testers, document experts. So all these things, what combination he need to have and all, he will be identifying. So how he'll be getting that this many developers need to be there, one team manager should be there and all, again it will be evolved from previous lessons. So in another healthcare project, the combination was this way. So our project is also similar to the project which has been executed some 2 years back by different project manager. So you want to have same kind of combination. Okay. So after that, what project manager will be doing is he'll be focusing on project approach. Okay, he'll be focusing on project approach. What is meant by project approach? How he need to execute this particular project, whether he want to use agile, whether he wants to use waterfall, whether he wants to use iterative. So all these things he'll be designing. So somehow or the other he'll be getting this also from previous lessons. So how the previous projects have been executed. So based on that he will suggest the project approach. Okay. So after that there is one document which will be prepared by manager. Yeah, Mangesh.
Yeah, Praveen, when you say that project approach, it means only the agile or waterfall, or why it is not Prince, PMP, or ITI like that?
Okay, okay.
Approach is different and
Yeah.
process and procedure is different.
Okay, I'll tell you that. So I'll answer your question. So Prince2 or PMP is typically a framework. This is basically, you know, the model in which it need to be executed, so that he can fix up the management stages or something according to that. So this is a style in which a project need to be executed, right? So obviously, whatever steps which you are seeing here, all these 6 steps are nothing but your Prince2 style, right? You are executing the project in Prince2 only, but the thing is approach. That means every 15 days you want to do this. Whether, I mean, let me focus on agile. So daily you want to have stand-up meetings, and every 15 days you want to, you want to complete one particular stage, and all the people will be working together and all. So that is what is meant by, project approach. So overall you are executing this entire project in Prince2 fashion only. The only thing is, what are the things which you need to do. Suppose you want to execute the project in waterfall model, then what will happen? So what are the combination of members you require, and who will be working on what and when. So typically Prince2 is considered to be here. Prince2 is the tree. So in that, yeah, in that you'll be having what approach you want to follow. Approach will typically tell, like, what stand-up meetings you want to have, when do you want to have planning meeting, when do you want to have lessons meeting, and all will be defined here. So this is very small subset. Okay, Prince2 is a ultimate core. So similarly, you want to execute the project as per PMP, then this is what is core. Here you want to, in what approach you want to follow is something considered to be very small. You got it?
Yeah. No, my question was it's the same, but I just confused. We have the same process in PMP also and Prince also. What is
Right.
the communication part?
This one will form a bigger tree. I mean, Prince2 or PMP will be forming a bigger tree, and the style in which you want to execute will be a small diagram or something where, which is typically used in order to frame some kind of strategies called as communication management strategy or something. Suppose if you are having agile, then what will happen is the communication will be like that. So you will be producing in 15 days, you will be having sprint, and morning we will be having stand-up meetings, there will be a planning meeting, there will be a retrospective meeting, all those things. So typically that will all go into communication management strategy. So overall, whatever you are doing is according to Prince2 only. Okay. So yeah, that style will be defined here, so that there will be, everyone will understand what is the style in which it is getting executed. And finally, what project manager need to do is, he has to prepare a document called as project brief. After finalizing the project approach, he has to work on project brief. And finally he need to get ready, everyone need to be ready for the next stage, which is called as initiation stage. Okay, I'll recap this once again, so that your questions will also be clarified. So starting up of the project is nothing but it is very preliminary thing which happens to a project. So project just came into the organization, but now it is there in the organization. But the thing is, uh, you know at this point of time there is no clarity on who will be taking the project, whether team is there or not and all, right? So first and the foremost thing is executive and project manager will be appointed. Appointing doesn't mean that you go and hire those people, but the thing is, it is typically identifying the project manager and executive who are competent and who are free at that particular point of time. So once executive and project manager are appointed, then what will happen? Executive will start focusing on business case. At this point of time, he will not have full information to prepare a business case. That is the reason why it is called as outline business case. Okay, so then project manager, what he'll be doing, he'll be capturing previous lessons. That is what is the first step which he'll be doing. And um, second thing what he'll be doing is he'll be appointing the project team, and he will be deciding on what kind of project approach which he need to follow. So approach is something like typically how you want to execute this particular project, right? So whether milestone should be every 15 days, or control points or stages should be every 15 days or every 1 month. So who should be doing what in that particular stage and all. So I have given some examples like agile waterfall or iterative model or something. How do you want to um, do this particular project in the form of stages and all that will be typically designed during project approach stage. And the project manager, what he'll be doing is, since executive is working on business case, project manager will also work on another document or another management product which is called as project brief. So once outline business case is ready and project brief is ready, then what will happen is, typically this project is, this stage is set to be completed because you have got all members now, you have got project approach now, and you have got two documents ready, business case and project brief, and you are going to kickstart the initiation stage, which is what we have, which is what is the next stage. So these are typically steps. Now the question is, do you want to follow all these steps when you are executing a project according to Prince2? No. You can tailor your project in such a way that you need not follow all these steps also. You can say that you want to skip some step. Okay. So that is what is meant by tailoring. So otherwise, these are typical activities which will be present in starting up a project. So you can say you have successfully completed starting up a project when you have completed all these steps or all these activities. Okay.
Hi, Praveen.
Yeah, Mangesh.
Yeah, Praveen, in project brief, we cover uh, what exactly? So,
I'll show you that. I'll show you that. What are the things which will be going into project brief and all? I'll show you when we are going through the presentation. Okay. Yeah. So I'll show you what will be present inside project brief and why project manager is working on project brief and all. Okay. So the important management products that will be referred, these process will be little, because the concept will be too much. So don't get confused. But the thing is, the management products which will be referred or which will be evolved during this particular stage will be project brief, sorry, project brief, daily log. Whenever the project manager is hired, he'll be working on two documents or two logs. One is called as daily log and lessons log. In daily log is nothing but typically his notebook. He'll be writing what are the things which are happening, right? And lessons log is nothing but whatever lessons he is learning on day-to-day basis, he'll be documenting all these things in lessons log. So all the things which he has documented in lessons log, at the end of the project, this will go into lessons report. Okay. So, and business case is prepared by executive. So these are the management products which will be started during starting up of project. So as Mangesh has asked me, what are the things which will go into project brief? Good. These are the things which will be typically going into project brief. So project description, whatever templates which I have shared you, it also contains these sections. So in project brief, these are the things which will be going. So why he is filling this particular document called as project brief? Because there are certain things which he already knows here till now, right? Outline business case is there. So if an executive gives outline business case, that will go into project brief, and project approach, team structure, role descriptions. So these are the things which will be going into project brief. So why another important thing which I wanted to tell you is why someone is preparing a document, right? So document is an evidence that you have executed the process step correctly. Okay, I just want to repeat my thing again, whatever I have said. Process, sorry, A document is an evidence that you have executed a particular process correctly, right? You may be having your engineering degree, I mean engineering mark sheet. What does engineering mark sheet will tell you? That mark sheet or certificate will tell you that you have followed the process. That means, all you have gone through the education, you have written the exam, you have cleared the examinations in time and all, and that will typically tell that you have followed all the engineering process, which is attending the classes, writing the examination, and all those things. And if you have engineering certificate, it will typically tell you that you have done all the requirements which are related to engineering. So you have done all the things, and that is the reason why you have got the evidence that you have certificate in hand. Similarly, your driving license, you have driving license because driving license is typically a document. It could be in the form of card, but what does that tell? Driving license you have because you have completed all the formalities which are related to driving. You know driving, you have taken the test of driving, you have applied for the license, and you have cleared the examination. That is the reason why you have got license with you. So why project brief is a document which is prepared by project manager? So this document typically tells whether the project manager has followed all the steps related to starting up a project. If project brief is in place, then it will typically tell you the project manager has done his job well with regards to starting up a project. Okay, so document is an evidence that you have followed the process. Okay, similarly, if your organization is ISO 9000 certified or CMMI certified, they'll not how they will certify your organization, right? They will certify your organization by seeing all the documents. If all the documents are in place, then only they'll certify your organization. If document is not in place, it means that you didn't follow the process. If you didn't follow the process, you will be not getting a certification. So that is why these documents are important. Similarly, project brief. If there is outline business case, if there is project brief, it means that you have done all the things which are related to starting up a project, and you did this as per Prince2 standards. Okay. So these, as I told that for each and every process, there will be purpose, there will be objectives, there will be activities, and there will be context. So what I'll do is I'll skip purpose and objective because it can be considered to be easily readable, right? So what we'll do is we'll discuss about the activities. That is what I have told you. So first and the foremost thing is, a first and the foremost thing is executive and project manager will be appointed. Project manager will be documenting all the previous lessons, and he will be appointing the project management team, and outline business case will be taken care by executive, and project approach and project brief will be taken care by project manager. Then what will happen, this is totally done. So initiation stage will be started, and project manager and executive both are ready to start the initiation stage. So these are typically the activities which will be happening in starting up of project. So whatever diagram I have told you, right? Maybe I can open it, I guess, or open it. Okay. Okay. So whatever the things which I have shown you in the project line, so those things are done during these are the activities which are typically done using starting up a project. Okay, so let us try to understand each and every activity by understanding what are the inputs required in order to execute that particular activity. You need not remember this. Okay, just try to understand what are the inputs and outputs. Input will be management product and output will also be management product. So in order to appoint executive and project manager, what is input? Right? So when project manager and executive are appointed, what will be typically output? When you are capturing previous lessons, what will be the input from where you are going to capture previous lessons, right? So when you capture previous lessons, where you are going to write it. Okay, so similar kind of things what we'll do is we'll be discussing now. So appoint executive and project manager. In order to appoint executive and project manager, what is the input which is required? Right? So input is nothing but your project mandate. When project mandate is there, executive and project manager will be appointed, right? So when executive and project manager are appointed, what will be the output? Typically, project brief will be updated. In project brief will be updated as what sections in project brief will be updated. Executive and project manager role definitions will be updated. And what project manager will be doing? Project manager will be creating daily log. So this is what project manager will be doing, right? So as soon as project manager is appointed, he will create a daily log. Creating doesn't mean that you create something. Rather, you buy a notebook, start writing in that notebook. Suppose if he's having some kind of smart devices or something, maybe a tablet or OneNote or something, then what he will do is he'll keep on writing whatever observations which he has noticed in one diary. So that is called as daily log. Okay, so what is this which you are seeing here? This particular thing is activity, and this one is input, and these are the outputs. You need not remember this, okay, but you need to understand that what will happen initially. Yeah, executive and project manager will be appointed. That is what is important for you. Okay, next thing is capture previous lessons learned. So who will be capturing previous lessons? Project manager will be capturing previous lessons. In order to capture previous lessons, what is the input which he requires? He requires previous lessons report. That means I have told you, right, there could be 1,000 projects in his projects in the organization which has been executed till date. So he will filter what are the lessons which he need to refer. For example, if he's working on healthcare project, so what is that he want to refer? He want to refer healthcare projects reports, healthcare lesson reports, right? And he will document. Where he will document, he need not refer, he need not copy all these things into his lessons, right? Otherwise it will become a copy. So he want to let us assume that there are 10 projects which are mapping to his healthcare projects. In those 10 things also, what he will do, he will see what are things which are relevant to him, and he will write all those things in his lessons log, right? So he will create a lessons log. So out of these 10 things, he will see what are relevant to him, and he will document all those things in the lessons log. Okay, the third step is appoint project management team. Who will be appointing project management team? Project manager will be appointing project management team. How he will be appointing project management team? So by considering lessons log and project brief. So lessons log and project brief are typically his input documents. It doesn't mean he'll open lessons log, he'll open project brief, and then only he'll appoint project team, right? It means that these are the things which he already have, which will trigger him that he is geared up to appoint the project management team. Okay, then what will be the output? So he will update that project management team is appointed in the daily log, and he will update project brief. Okay, so in project brief also, what sections he will update? There is a section called as project management team structure. That means how the team is structured. There will be a team manager, there will be developers, there will be testers, right? So such kind of diagrams. So that particular diagram he is going to draw in his project brief, and he'll be creating role responsibilities. So team manager should be doing XYZ. Such kind of role responsibilities which he'll be documenting in project brief. Okay. So whenever I am saying that these are inputs and outputs, yeah, Lena.
Praveen, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Why I can't hear?
Because I'm muted.
Oh.
You can mute yourself.
It's okay. Let me. When you say the update project brief, right? Like the create project management structure, is it like the WBS in PMP?
No. Which one you are talking about? Team structure, right?
The creating project management structure.
Yeah, project management structure is a hierarchy structure. So hierarchy structure is like something like who is above whom. So you have got project board. Under project board you have got project manager. Under project manager you have got manager. Team manager has got some developers, some testers, some some documentation experts, or some kind of technical writers or something. So all these things you are going to define a diagram, hierarchy diagram. That is what is meant by creating project.
I think Lina is referring to work breakdown structure.
No. It's not work breakdown structure, it is hierarchy structure or chart types.
Okay, but it's the same work breakdown and this.
Work breakdown will divide work. That means work will be broken down into further activities. But in org chart is something like where you define who will be at what level and all. So if you want,
Okay,
I
okay.
can show you an example also. I have it.
Yes.
That will help you. It's not in
Kevin,
Yeah, Madhu.
Kevin can go back one slide before. I just want to capture that screen because I could not capture this on the lesson learned.
Okay, 1 second. This one, right? So from previous lesson
Yeah.
report, lessons log will
Okay,
be.
I got it. Thanks.
Okay. I guess this is not in tablet mode, so it should work. Okay. Okay. So this is what we discussed. So I'll show you an example also once we are completing this particular. You can just Lena, maybe you can just tell me what is meant by project management team structure. I'll show you that. We'll complete this particular process and I'll show you that particular diagram. I'll just park your question for a while, maybe 2 minutes. Okay. So prepare outline business case. So in order to prepare outline business case, so outline business case will be prepared by whom? Outline business case will be prepared by executive. So in order to prepare outline business case, what are the inputs he require? So executive will require typically these inputs. He require project mandate, he require lessons log from project manager, right? So he will see the lessons log from the project manager and he will see project mandate and he'll be able to prepare outline business case, right? So after preparing outline business case, what will happen? Project brief need to be updated because project brief contains outline business case, right? So this outline business case will be typically going into project brief and update some kind of PPD section if there are some requirements, because from project mandate and outline business case you will be getting some requirements. So that requirements need to be updated in typically PPD section is nothing but your scope. Okay, and project manager will be updating daily log. Okay, so outline business case will be prepared by executive. In order to prepare that, he will look into project mandate and lessons log, and when outline business case is completed, then that will be updated in project brief. Okay, next one, select project approach and assemble project brief. Okay, what is meant by that? That means take project brief and take lessons log. So these are the two important inputs which are required in order to prepare project approach and assemble project brief. And what will be the output? Project brief will be updated. So take project brief, finish, fill the section called as approach, and finally update that particular project brief. And daily log will be something like, when this particular thing is completed, project manager will open his notepad and he will say, yeah, project brief is almost completed today. So daily log is nothing. Daily log, if I have to define, it is nothing but it is the diary of project manager. So normally project managers will be carrying a diary, right? You might have noticed it. So that is nothing but your daily log. So it need not be in the form of document. It will be typically in the form of a notepad. Okay. So in our organization, we'll be getting in our current organization. So we'll be having log books, daily log books. So we'll be getting log books. So we'll be filling that. So when someone wants to resign, they have to submit all the log books to the management and they can resign. Okay, it's that way. And plan initiation phase. So what is meant by planning initiation phase? Now whatever the things which project manager and executive has to do, they have completed that particular activities. They go to the project board and they say that these are the things they have completed, and they will see the documents, and yeah, they will see the documents and they will say that you guys are ready and you can start the initiation phase. So before starting the initiation phase, project manager has to come up with initiation phase stage plan, right? So that is what is important thing. So with initiation phase stage plan, he'll be able to get into that. Then daily log will be updated and project manager will say that he is interested in getting into initiation phase, and initiation phase will get started. Okay, so these are typically 6 steps which are involved in starting up a project. So don't bother too much about inputs and outputs. Okay, that is just to give you some kind of clarity on what is input and output. So don't go into that input and output in detail. Just try to understand what are the activities which I'm writing on the white sheet which I'm on the whiteboard which I'm writing. Okay, if you are able to focus on that, that's more than enough. Forget about input and outputs for now. Okay, so okay, so this is one thing. Maybe if you have to remember this particular stage which is starting up a project, if you are having a checklist like this, then that will be beneficial. So you can only say that you have completed starting up a project if all these checkpoints are there. Executive there, yes. Project manager there, yes. Senior user identified, yes. Senior supplier, yes. Project support, yes. Team manager, yes. Project assurances. So if these things are available, then you can say daily log available, yes. Lessons log available, yes. Previous lessons you have referred, yes. So if all these things are available, then you can typically say starting up has been done successfully. So if an auditor comes, then what he will do, normally if he is going to ask the project manager whether you have done the starting up of project in a correct way or not, project manager will typically say yes, right? So if he sees all these things, then he will understand that project manager has did his job well with regards to starting up a project. Okay, this is what is typically auditors do when you have specific project auditors or CMMI auditors or appraisers or ISO auditors or something. They will come and they will check those documents only. If the documents are there doesn't mean that it's an empty document. If relevant sections in the documents are filled properly, then he will understand that the process has been completed successfully. So what I'll do is I will show, Lena has asked me a question, so I'll show what is meant by team structure. You were asking me whether it is WBS or something, right? So I'll tell you what is meant by team structure. If I have team structure here, I'll be able to show you that. Okay. Yeah. You have got some structure right here. So there are some people here. So this is what is meant by team structure. Right. So team structure is meant by this. So under project manager, who are the people present? Under test manager, who are present? Under this one, who are present? So the org structure is little different. Okay. So this is what I was referring to, team structure. And roles and responsibilities. So roles and responsibilities, who will be working on what role and responsibility, that is being mentioned here. Who will be doing what? So when I said team structure and roles and responsibilities definition in this particular presentation, right? Maybe somewhere here. One second. So update project approach and update role definition, that is meant by, one second, it is present here, right? Yeah. So create project management team structure. What is meant by team structure? Draw that particular hierarchy, right? And that is what is meant by team structure. And another thing is, which you see here, see in the next slide, update role description, which is nothing but roles and responsibilities. Okay, if you are able to update role descriptions and if you are able to update the hierarchy, then and if they are going into a particular document, then project manager has done that particular job. Okay, got it? Any questions you have with regards to initiation? Right, so starting up. So just try to understand what are the activities.
Praveen,
Yeah.
let us get back, yeah. For the project assurance, why she or he must be in the initial startup project?
Didn't get your question. I mean, project assurance, why they should be there?
Yeah.
Yeah, project assurance, where you have seen that in a particular slide here.
The before this yeah, the summary one.
Yeah. So project assurance also what we are doing is we are creating role description for project assurance also. It doesn't mean when you are busy in the project, it doesn't mean project assurance guy will come and suddenly interrupt, stop your work, I want to audit and all, right? So you will create a role description for him. When he has to come, what he has to do also will be defined in project brief, right? That means, project assurance person will be there. You know who is the project assurance person, and he will be coming at some interval of time. It doesn't mean, suddenly the project is very critical and people are focusing on deliverables and all. Assurance guys should not come and say, stop, I want to audit your project and all. So auditing is not considered to be a sudden activity, but it is a planned activity. So that is the reason why, who is the project assurance, when he has to come, what he has to do. There are certain things which he need not do, right? He need to check only documents. He need not go into source code and he has to see code reviews and all. So that's not required. That's the reason why project assurance roles and responsibilities will also be defined. Did that answer your question, Alina?
Yes, you are, but somehow I don't know. Here we will only involve the project assurance, especially the auditor. In the middle, yes, and also after we are about to close the project. But somehow, in order for us to start the project, normally we don't involve them for the initial stage, basically.
Yeah, yeah. That could be typically related to their organization, but this is according to the Prince2.
Okay, alright, got it.
Yeah. So, and another thing is, just wanted to tell you that, whenever we are implementing any kind of standard, for example, you say, right? I mean, at least in India, we say that, 70 to 80% of the organizations have moved to agile, and every organization will be having uh, their own way of agile, right? So I mean, we know Scrum and all, but we'll be implementing it in a different fashion. There will be some kind of deviation. Suppose if you go and implement in another organization, there will be slight deviation. So even though any project is executed as per Prince2 style or something, so typically there will be some kind of ups and downs. Okay, some changes, some delta will be there between implementation from one organization to another organization, which is considered to be totally okay. Hi, am I audible?
Yes, Praveen, you are audible.
Oh, okay, okay. There is someone who is joining here, so I just want to check who's that. Okay, so that is about starting up with the project. The only thing which you need to understand is in starting up a project is nothing but the activities. So what will be done if in an interview if you are asked a question like what are the things which will happen in starting up a project, you need not remember these things, but you can tell executive will be appointed, project manager will be appointed, executive will be focusing on business case, project manager will be working on lessons log or project brief and all those things. If you are able to tell that, then it's good. Okay, so you need not remember this because I'm trainer, I'm remembering these things, but for your examination perspective or for your practical perspective, this is not considered to be very important. If you are able to understand the essence, that's fine, right? So it's as simple as that. You know the formula, right? Instance formula, maybe you guys have studied. E is equal to mc square, you know, right? You know this, right? Amata, you know this, right?
Yes, yes, Praveen, I know this equals.
Yeah, you should know what is it. Can you explain me?
It's N. Energy equals to mass multiplied by C something I've forgotten.
Yeah, velocity of light or something. We know that. I mean, this is an instance formula which we all know. But the thing is, you should know what is it. Suppose if you need not understand what is E, what is M, what is C, and how this particular thing is done. If you want to understand this particular formula, then maybe it will take 10 days. Seriously.
This is how
No, but overall
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
knows the
Yeah, just
mass.
understand. Yeah, yeah. We'll not go into physics anyways. Yes. So you just try to understand, typically, yeah, these are the things which will be done. Okay. If you are able to understand that, that is fine. You can follow. Okay. So let us go to the next process, which is initiating the project, and let us try to understand what are the activities which are involved in initiating the project quickly. So activities in initiating the project. Okay. So let us try to understand. Initiating project is considered to be very important process step. So very important thing is, till now what are the things you have got? You have got project brief and you have got outline business case, right? So from your previous step you have got project brief and outline business case. Now what you are trying to do in this particular step is, you are trying to, from project brief, you want to create a document called as project initiation document, which is considered to be very important thing. Whatever example which I have shown you just now is called as project initiation document. Word document which I have opened you, that is project initiation document. So project brief will be translated into project initiation document, and outline business case will be translated into business case. That is what is being done, right? So in order to do that, so if project brief need to be converted into PID and outline business case need to be converted into business case, then there are some sections which need to be filled. So I'll show you those sections also, so that it will become easier for you, right? So right, so you are able to see this project brief, right? So project brief will be translated into project initiation document. If you see both these things, right, there are some sections common, right? This is common, this is common, this is common, this is common. So what are the things which are different? Yeah, Amit.
Yes, hello.
Amit, this is Prince2 training program.
Okay, this is not for Agile, right?
This is not agile. I think there's some other link, I guess, which has been given by them.
I think the link was given this, and I'm sorry for interrupting you. Okay, fine. I'll have a communication with the concerned person. Right.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Right, bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Amit, maybe you can just disconnect this. Okay, so you see, right? So there are certain things which are in project brief, and there are certain other things which are present in project initiation document. If you see what is the delta between project brief and project initiation document, then you can see that this is the delta, right? That means if you want to translate project brief into project initiation document, then what are the things which need to be done? Typically, these are the things, right? So these are the additional things which need to be added, right? So the ones which I have circled here are the additional things which need to be added. And one more thing which I'm little afraid is, maybe this link has been given to some other trainer, I guess, who is taking agile at this point of time. So what we'll do is we'll quickly complete this particular stage and we'll see how it goes. Okay.
Okay, okay, that's okay.
Yeah, why we are getting other links is because this link has been given to some other trainer and some other people. I suppose that's the reason why we are getting other folks. So we'll complete this particular stage and we'll see. We'll just connect to WhatsApp so that the people will not get troubled.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise we'll be getting more. Sorry, Mangesh, not able to. Not able to hear you. Okay, maybe you can just type here. But what we'll do is we'll just quickly, get into the activities which are related to this. Okay, so simple thing. I just want to read out whatever the things which I have kept here. Project brief is translated into project initiation document, which means that business case, quality management strategy, risk management strategy, communication management strategy, configuration management strategy, project plan, project controls and tailoring will be added into project brief so that it will get translated into project initiation document. Okay, so let's try to understand what are the activities here. So first and the foremost activity in this particular stage would be, you understood, right? So just wanted to recap what I have told you. Project brief will be translated into PID and outline business case will be translated into business case. So in order to do that, what are the activities required? So first thing, project manager will be preparing risk management strategy, right? And project manager, this is an initiation project. So project manager will be preparing project risk management strategy, and project manager will be preparing configuration management strategy, and project manager will be preparing quality management strategy, and project manager will be preparing communication management strategy, right? And project manager will be preparing something called as project controls. So project controls are nothing but tolerances. For scope there is a tolerance. For risk we know the tolerance, right? We have just kept that. For risk it is less than, it should be greater, it should be less than 50. Okay, so this is meant by project controls. Project controls are nothing but giving a tolerance level for each and every aspect of your project. Okay, so project manager will be defining project controls, and project manager will be preparing project plan. So this is typical project management kind of thing. And executive will be updating business case. So everything will be going into one document called as project initiation document. So just wanted to tell you here. So what is being done, what are the activities which will be done during initiation phase is, project manager will be preparing risk management, configuration management, quality management, communication management strategies, project controls, project plan, and all these items will be going into one document called as project initiation document. So he will be preparing all these documents and he will be pushing all those things into project initiation document. That is what is typical high level activities which will be happening inside initiating project. If someone is going to ask you a question on what do you do in initiation phase, then you can say simply, if you want to give a short answer, then you can say I'll be working on project initiation document. If you want to give you an elaborated answer, then you can say I already have project brief. Now to the project brief I'll be adding risk management, configuration management, quality management, communication management, project control, project plan, business case, and finally I'll be updating project initiation document by translating project brief. If you are going to tell this answer, that is more than enough. That is what is meant by initiation phase, initiating the project mean. Okay, so just wanted to tell you what are the things which are related to risk management strategy. For risk management strategy, there is something called as risk register. For configuration management strategy, we have got something called as issue register. Quality management strategy, you have got something called as quality register. For communication management strategy, you don't have any registers. Okay, so typically whenever you are creating a strategy, you try to create that particular register also. We have seen when we were discussing about risk, right? So yeah, when we were discussing about risk, so risk management will be having some risk register also in parallel. So strategy will be having a register in parallel. Okay, so we'll discuss that now. What is that, PM or executive? Okay, so business case will be prepared by executive, but in case if ultimate accountability of business case will be there with executive only, but he can delegate it to someone else also. So sometimes, most of the times in most of the organization, executive will be delegating that particular thing to project manager, right? So, and Business case will be definitely prepared by executive only, but small updates and all, if need to be done, that will be done by project manager. But if it is not done by project manager, it is ultimate responsibility of executive only. Did that answer your question, Lina?
Yes, Praveen.
I guess you guys are close, I suppose. So, that's the reason why I'm hearing an echo. Yeah, so it's executive. Sometimes you can delegate the work to someone else. Okay. So let us try to understand.
Praveen, I have a question.
Yeah, Mata.
Yeah, we know that the updates are actually prepared by our project manager, and in the absence, then the executive will take place. But then for the project manager to collaborate all this information, they also take input from team manager, right?
Yeah, obviously he'll be taking some kind of inputs from team manager also.
Okay, in the absence of team manager, only project manager will work out on all the tasks,
Yes.
correct?
So team manager will
Or is it?
be mostly focusing on certain things which are related to technical things. But obviously
Okay.
people need to collaborate with each other in order to get the updates. If they don't collaborate with each other, they can directly collaborate, or sometimes what they can do is they can collaborate over emails or collaborate over calls or something. But overall, everyone need to be collaboratively work in order to get the things done.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so let's understand. This is what I have told you on the whiteboard. So project manager will be working on. Sorry, project manager will be working on. What happened? 1 second. Yeah. So project manager will be working on risk management strategy, configuration management strategy, quality management strategy, communication management strategy. That means all the management strategies project manager will be working on, and set up project controls. It is nothing but tolerance, and prepare project plan. Project plan is nothing but, when I say project plan here, it is typically schedule, and executive will be working on business case, and finally everyone will be focusing on preparing project initiation document. These are the activities. Okay, so in order to prepare risk management strategy, what are the inputs project manager require? So project manager will be requiring project brief. How project brief came? It came from previous stage, right? And anyways, he'll be having lessons log and daily log. So these are the three things which he'll be seeing, which he'll be visiting in order to prepare risk management strategy. Okay, so when risk management strategy is updated, what will happen? PID will get updated. PID, project initiation document, will get updated. In project initiation document, risk management strategy section is there, no? So that particular thing will be updated in project initiation document, and everything, and a risk register will be created. Okay, so whenever a strategy is prepared, associated register will also get prepared or will get started. So these are all the documents which he has got from previous stage. He has taken these documents as input documents, and he has prepared risk management strategy. So when he prepares risk management strategy, project initiation document will be updated. In project initiation document, what will be updated? A risk management section will be updated. So when risk management section is updated, obviously try to create risk register. What is risk register? Risk register is what is the Excel sheet which I have shown you, right? So just create it. Create doesn't mean that you need to add items, but you have to give some kind of introduction. What is the project? What is the start date? What is the end date? Who is project manager and all? So that is what is meant by creating risk register. Okay. So next step. What is the next step? After preparing risk management strategy, project manager will be working on preparing configuration management strategy. How he prepares configuration management strategy? Whatever inputs which he has got till now, he'll be taking all those things as inputs, and he'll be preparing communication management strategy. Right? So project brief, lessons log, and daily log. All these three things which he has got, these are the things which he has got from previous stage. So these things he'll take, and he has got these two things from previous step. So these two things he will take, and he will prepare configuration management strategy. So what will be the output? Output will be configuration management strategy will get added into project initiation document, and issue register will also get created, right? So project initiation document is updated with configuration management strategy. So there are some issue register will get created and configuration item records will get added. So CI records will contain the latest information of all the docs. Okay. So whatever you are seeing as output here, whatever things you are seeing as output here, these are becoming inputs to your next step. All this and this plus this are becoming inputs for your next step, and something else is coming as output. Okay. So if you see next step, all these things, all the inputs and outputs will be going as inputs, and something else will be becoming output, which is typically updating project initiation document. Okay. Third one, what is the third step? Prepare quality management strategy. So what are the input documents which he'll be referring? He'll be referring to all the documents which he has got from previous stage, plus whatever PID he has updated. So in PID, what are the things which he has updated? He has updated configuration management strategy, risk management strategy till now. So those things he'll be adding it, right? And relevant registers, and he'll be updating project initiation document. So typically, what are the inputs? So he has, these are the things which are anyways there. So till now he has got risks register, issue register, and project initiation document. So these are the things which he'll be updating it. And finally, he'll be updating project initiation document and quality register. So whatever the outputs are there in the previous stage has become inputs now. And finally, he's updating again project initiation document. In project initiation document, quality management section is what he's updating. And when he's updating quality management strategy, the relevant register related to quality management strategy is nothing but quality register, which he'll be updating it. Okay. So it's quite simple. The thing is, whatever outputs are there in previous stage are becoming inputs, and he's updating that particular thing, taking those things as inputs, and he's updating project initiation documents. Overall, the process is same. Let us try to understand what is meant by communication strategy. So in order to prepare communication strategy, he will take all the inputs which he has got till now, all the documents which he has got till now, right? Project brief, lessons log, and daily log. These are the things which are present. Risk register, issue register, and quality register he has got from previous stages. And whatever existing PID document is there, he'll be taking that as input, right? Next, he'll be preparing communication management strategy. So communication management strategy, where he'll be updating in project initiation document, right? PID. In PID, what will be updated? Communication management strategy is updated, right? Now he will take everything as inputs and work towards the next step. Right? What is meant by setup project controls? So whatever the things which he has got till now will become inputs, right? So project controls. So project controls, where it will be updated in project initiation documents. So project controls, roles and responsibilities, and team structure, he'll be updating it here. Okay. So whatever outputs he has got till the previous day, that will become inputs. Okay. Next thing is preparing project plan. So where the project plan will go, project plan will also go into project initiation document. So in order to prepare project plan, he'll be taking all the inputs which he has got till previous stages, previous activities, and also the earlier stage, which is starting up of project. So everything will be input for him. And finally, what he'll be doing, he'll be updating project initiation document. In project initiation document, what he'll be updating? He'll be updating project plan section. Okay. Next, what is meant by updating business case? Let us see what is meant by step which is involved in updating business case. In order to update business case, what project manager or executive will be doing? They will be taking all the inputs which they have got till now, right? So instead of writing all those things, what I have done is I have cut shorted it, right? This one. PID means it includes everything. Okay. So outline business case plus whatever the things which he is having till now, everything he has taken, and he has updated or refined the business case. And when business case is updated, what will be created? When business case is fully completed, then benefits review plan will be created, and this business case will be going into project initiation document. Okay, that is what is meant by updating business case. So instead of writing all those things, I have just mentioned it as PID. Existing PID is nothing but it includes risk management strategy, quality management strategy, right? Everything. Next, assemble PID. So whatever inputs which he has got till date, he'll be taking all those things, which is nothing but your risk management, quality management, configuration management, communication management strategies. All these things he'll be taking it, and he'll be updating, right? Project brief, detailed business case, existing PID. What does existing PID includes? All strategies. What are all strategies? Quality, communication, configuration, and risk management strategy, project plan, project controls, and delivery. All these things he'll be taking, and he will be updating project initiation document. And typically what will be the output? Everything you got which is related to project initiation document, right? So you have got all strategies, you have got all, you have got plan, you have got business case, you have got roles and responsibilities, you have got project approach. So all these things you will be taking, and you will be updating project initiation document. Now since you have completed project initiation document, you have completed your initiation stage. So how you can say in a short, if someone is asking you whether you have completed initiation stage properly or not, then you can typically say, I have completed my project initiation document, so I have completed my initiation stage properly. So completing is not just filling junk there. Completing is nothing but filling appropriate information there. Okay, so if you are able to do that, then in short you can say you have completed PID. So that is the reason why you have completed this initiation stage in a structured way. So your stage boundary is approaching. So what you are going to do is you are going to share this project initiation document to project board. Project board will be approving it. That means you have completed your initiation stage well. So similarly, if you have a checklist, what auditor will be coming is auditor will be coming with the checklist, and he will be seeing all these things. As risk register there, risk register is there, risk strategy is there, the configuration management strategy and configuration item is there, whether issue register is there, quality management strategy is there, quality register is there. He'll be checking all these things. If all these things are okay, then he will also audit and say that you have executed the project as per Prince2 style, and he'll say okay, he'll give you starts. Okay, this is how initiation process will get completed. So the next process is directing the project. So any questions which you have with regards to initiation? So as I said, you try to understand the essence of it. If you are able to understand the essence of it, it's more than enough. Any questions, Amita, Magesh, Leena, Vijendra?
Yeah, everyone is requesting to stop the recording and start a new recording after this.
I forgot. But anyways, I'll open that and I'll just try to tell you once again so that you'll have that as a recording. So what are the activities which are involved in directing the project? So directing the project is basically done by project board. So directing is nothing but typically approving a particular stage. So approving a particular stage and giving permission to work on the next stages. So how project board will be directing is by authorizing initiation, by authorizing entire project, by authorizing all stages, by authorizing closure. If there is any kind of tolerance breach with regards to any particular stage, then there will be an exception. Then in such kind of situation, project board will be authorizing the exception plan. And in any case, when there is any kind of direction or support which need to be given to the project manager or team, then project board will give ad hoc direction. So in order to do all these things, they will be requiring some documents, right? In order to authorize initiation, there are some management products which they have to approve it. For entire project also, they have to approve some management products. For all stages also, they have to approve certain things. So when we are going through the presentation, let us see what are the documents which project board will be looking at in order to authorize a particular thing. Okay. Okay. So it looks so simple, right? I mean, project board authorizes everything, but in order to authorize, let us try to understand what are the documents which project board will be looking at. Okay, so in order to authorize initiation, what are the input documents which project manager will be going, and what are the output documents which project board will be seeing it. So typically input and output will be same, right? Except, I mean, in this particular stage, if you see input documents, whatever inputs are there, the output documents will also be same. The only difference is you will be having a prefix called as approved, or yeah, approved. So that's the only difference. In order to authorize initiation, project manager will be going to project board with these documents, right? Project board, project manager will be going to project board with project brief and stage plan. So he goes with these two documents to project board, right? Then what project board will be doing? One second. What project board will be doing? They see this project brief and they will approve the project brief. They will see the stage plan, they will approve stage plan. That is what you will be seeing. So in all the next slides, what you will be seeing is whatever you see on the left hand side will be same as right hand side. The only thing is you will be having a prefix called as approved, right? So project board will also see documents and they will approve it. Authorize the project. So in order to authorize the project, what project manager will be doing? Project manager will be going to the project board with some documents, right? So what are the documents which project board will be asking? First thing is PID, because PID is very big document which contains almost everything, right? So in order to authorize project manager has to show PID. Project manager also has to show benefits review plan, right? If he is showing all these things, they will see those, they will review those documents and they will be approving it. So in order to authorize the project manager need to go with PID and benefits review plan. So what project board will be doing? They will be seeing these documents and they will be approving those documents. So whatever you see on the left hand side and right hand side are same, except that you have got a prefix called as approved. They'll be taking these documents as inputs and they'll be approving those documents, right? So I'll show you an example after we complete these slides. Okay, so next thing is authorizing stage or exception plan. So in order to authorize stage or exception plan, project manager will be going with these reports. This is related to stage, right? So he'll be going with end stage report and the next stage plan, right? Previous stage report and next stage plan is what he'll be going with. And if there is, this one is optional. If there is an exception, then he'll go with exception plan. Otherwise, he'll go with updated benefits review plan and PID. So with these documents, he'll be going to the project board. What project board will be doing? Same thing, right? So approved end stage report, they'll be approving it. Next stage plan, they'll be approving it. If there is an exception plan, they will be approving exception plan.
Sorry to. It is supposed to be state or stage as the title.
Yeah, you're right. This is typo.
Okay, no problem, because I just want to clarify that.
No, that's stage. There are some typos I think there are in the presentation which typically, spell checker is not able to identify it because it's there in the dictionary. So I need to correct that. I'll do that. Thank you. So yeah, so benefits review plan. So approved benefits review plan and approved PID. So in order to authorize a particular stage or approve a particular stage, what these guys will be doing is they'll be going with these documents and the project board will be seeing these documents and they will be stamping saying that it is approved. And the fourth one is give ad hoc direction. Give ad hoc direction doesn't mean that give some suggestion just like that. Okay, giving ad hoc direction is nothing but whenever a project manager is having any kind of trouble, he will go to the project board. So project board doesn't give any kind of free suggestions just like that. Okay, they will ask project manager to get certain documents in order to give a direction, right? So in order to give ad hoc direction, project board will ask project manager to get highlight report, exception report, issue report. They will see these reports and then only they will give some kind of direction. What is the direction they will give? They'll give some kind of advice, or they will ask him to raise an exception, or raise an issue, or sometimes if it is something like very critical, suddenly project manager will come and say that all 10 resources in my project are leaving in 1 month suddenly, then they will give direction to him, right? Close the project. Yeah, they may give such kind of thing also, so that which is typically closing the project. So in order to give ad hoc direction also, it is not just kind of go and ask for some kind of suggestion randomly. Project board will be asking certain kind of reports and documents. If project manager is able to go with certain reports and documents, then only they will be able to give such kind of ad hoc direction. And the final one is authorized project closure. So in order to close the project also, project manager will be going with set of documents. So when the project is getting closed, what are the documents which project manager has to take? PID, because it contains everything, and he has to take end project report, which he has prepared just now, and benefits review plan. These are the three documents which project manager need to take to the project board. Then project board will review those documents and approve those documents, and the project will get closed. So similarly, whatever you see on the left hand side and right hand side will be same, except that there will be a prefix called as approved. Okay. So PID, they will approve PID, but the thing is, very critically, they will approve the business case which is present in PID. End project report, project manager takes end project report, they will approve end project report. Project manager takes benefit review plan, project board will approve benefits review plan. So that is what is meant by authorized closure, which means everyone is in a common agreement that the project can be closed and project will be closed. And you see opposite also, project recommendation and project notification. So it's more or less like these are actions which will happen. So whatever you see in the oval shape, I am not stressing on those things because those are typically actions. We are focusing on management products. Okay, that's what it is. Do you have any questions with regards to this? Directing the project? No, I'm stopping the recording.